Hey guys, what's going on? It is Chris here once again, looking ahead to today's slate for the 4th of January. Once again, hopefully you guys did pretty good last night. As normal, if you guys do go on to like the video, leave a like. I appreciate that quite a bit. And also hit that sub button as well to stay up to date on videos. Last night wasn't the greatest for us. I did cash in a ton of head-to-heads, but that was basically it. We just had had a couple guys just not too the greatest for us. It's kind of been like that the last couple days. So hopefully we get out of it here pretty soon. As normal, if you guys want to come join us, all you need to do is hit us up on our Twitter. That will be down there in the comment section below. Click on the link, give us a follow while you guys are there, and yeah, like I said, just message us. We'll get you all set up. So, yeah, let's get into today's slate. I looked at it, and it looks nasty, to be honest with you. Not in a good way either. There is a couple injuries, so if they do, um, maybe change. Sorry, my bad. If these guys are out, then it definitely changes it up a little bit. But yeah, you got like a good team versus a bad team. You got like a good defense versus a really bad offense. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, let's get into it here. So our first game, let's go click on it. Utah and Atlanta. So we'll go show you guys DVPs for everyone since it is a pretty small slate. So Utah is one of the best defenses in the league. It is a back-to-back for Atlanta, and I don't see Atlanta doing a ton in this game. Um, Against a really good defense in LA, kind of just like Utah. They only scored 99. Against Clippers, they did win. They scored 108. So maybe they keep this one close. I'm just not too sure about it. I mean, I guess Utah is giving up a couple points. I guess the last couple days, but not too much to look at. The only thing maybe is Capella. They do struggle against centers, but I don't think he has a ton of upside here. Let me go see how they do against blocks. They do give up 1.7 blocks, so he might get 2 to 3 here. Rebounds, they give up a ton, kind of fits into what he does. Gives up a couple points and some field goal percentage. So I guess that's the one spot to attack here. He might get you 40. He's 8,800, so you could look at him. That's mostly it here on that Atlanta side. I don't really have anyone else on that one. On the let me go see here, Utah side. Oh my goodness, my bad. All right, let's go look at the Atlanta defense. There we go. So Atlanta defense usually is not that great. They're pretty good against centers. I mean Capella's there, so makes quite a bit of sense. They do struggle against point guards and shooting guards, so I don't mind maybe Conley in a cash game. I think he's only going to get you about 31 to 33 points. So if you're looking for a ton of upside, I don't think he really has it here. Let's go see how he's done against Atlanta in his career. This is, like I said, this is all from last year besides this one here on the 15th. So as you see, they just played a little bit ago. They absolutely annihilated him, and he scored 41. So let me go check real quick, see if Donovan was playing that game. I think he was. 15. Yeah, so he was playing that game too. So they kind of had their full team. So the one good game that Conley, not one good game, but one of the good games that Conley's had this year is against Atlanta. So you could definitely look at him. Usage rate's still not too bad. He only shot 10 times against him, had a 20% usage rate. Since then, his usage rate's gone up a little bit. So I got him for about 32 and a half, 33 fancy points right here. So I think he's safe in cash games. Maybe has a little bit of an upside to him because he, has done good against Atlanta in the past, and I don't think a ton of people have him. So you could look at him. I hate that I'm going to say this, but you can definitely look at Mitchell. He finally looked like he got a shot back, 10 for 17. He had two really bad games here, and of course I did have him against New York. And once again, as we just showed you, he didn't do too bad against Atlanta last time with 41 shot 20 times. So 78 is reasonable for him. Like I said, I have a little bit of hatred towards him for this game, but it is daily fantasy sports, right? So everything changes every day. So you could look at him. I think Clarkson could be worth a look in a GPP only. He's been absolute trash. He's still shooting fine. He's just not getting a lot of rebounds or anything else. So that's kind of concerning to me. I know I keep going back here, but against Atlanta, he had 28. He shot 17 times. So, um, maybe look at him, I guess, in a couple. Just if you go look at shooting guards, we'll see at the end of this. It is horrible at the shooting guard position. Um, you can look at Bojan. He had two really good games here. This was when Donovan Mitchell was absolute crap. All right, so keep that in mind. When Mitchell did shoot again, he dropped down to 28. And his usage rate dropped down 5% as well. So keep that in mind. I know Bojan looks good on paper. It's also good matchup for him. Like I said, not a bad play at 58. I think he's a cash game play, but just keep in mind, like I said, if Mitchell is somewhat decent tonight, I don't think Bojan goes off for 35 or so like that because his usage rate dropped down a little bit as well. So keep that one in mind. And Royce O'Neal could be worth a look. Not a high usage rate guy, but kind of an all-around player. So at 52, so I don't mind maybe two or three of these Utah guys and a couple one-offs. So that's what we got going on. Golden State, Dallas at 224, and Dallas by 3. So before we start, Porzingis, it is a back-to-back. So okay. So yeah, just keep that in mind. It is a back-to-back, and the last one they just played, the last back-to-back, he did sit. So yeah, keep that in mind. If he doesn't sit, yeah, I don't mind going to Porzingis here. Let's go look at the Golden State Warriors. Overall, they're not too bad of a defense this year. Oh my goodness, my bad, guys. I'm tired. There they are, Golden State Warriors. So they're not that bad against centers. Keep that in mind. That's like with Wiseman and James Kevon Looney. Two pretty good defensive players, especially Kevon. And they don't have him here, so he's like a power forward center. So Draymond's probably going to be on him for the most part. Draymond not bad either, but you got to remember Porzingis is 7'3", and Green's what, like 6'8", 6'9"? I'm not sure exactly, but a little bit of a disadvantage, especially in the rebounding area. So I could see a double double here from Porzingis if he plays. I don't mind going back to him. Looks like he kind of found his confidence again, and I think he's really dang cheap. So if he plays, he's almost a lock for me in cash games. If he doesn't play, got to look at Luka, another guy that I don't mind, and this is GPP only, but I think some value is going to open up. But if no value opens up, I could look at Maxi Kleba. I know this guy doesn't have a high usage rate, but played 32 minutes. That's a big thing right there. Played 32 minutes here against Atlanta. Had 24 fantasy points. So keep that in mind. This guy's not going to score a ton of real points. We're definitely relying on his defense in this one and a couple rebounds. So as I just mentioned, power forward centers, Kleba did start at the center position, so they do give up 16.6 rebounds and a couple blocks, so I don't mind looking at that. And even against power forwards, if he switches to power forward when Willie's out there for a couple minutes, still gives up a lot of rebounds and quite a bit of, decent amount of blocks as well. So Kleba, GPP only if you desperately need him. And I think that's mostly it. Like I said, you can look at Luka. Tim Hardaway has been looking okay, if that's what you're looking for, but I hate relying on shooters, though. On that Golden State side, I really don't have a ton. Curry is worth a look. Draymond's worth a look. I just don't really care for Kelly or Wiggins right now. I will say this is one of the first games of the day, so keep an eye on the starting lineup for Golden State. I'm intrigued to see what they do. If they start Juan Anderson, I will probably maybe have a little bit of him. He is 49, unfortunately. I might have him in one. If I know he screwed us, but if Eric Pascal starts, maybe look at him as well. Like I said, only if he starts. I just don't like him coming off the bench. So just keep that in mind with one of those guys. Moving on here, Portland and Philly, another question mark game. Once again, back to back here for Embiid. He has been playing a couple back to backs, as you see, 22 and the 23rd, and the 11th and 12th. So if he plays, which I think he should, he's definitely a one heck of a play here, and also that makes this game a little bit less competitive. If it beats out, Philly's going to struggle a little bit more and make this a little bit more competitive. If he's in there, which I think he should, I'm going to have a lot of Embiid. It could be a blowout for sure, depending on what's going on with Lillard. But at 10-2, and to be honest with you, the studs are, for the most part, not that great. I don't mind looking at him. Not too high on Cantor. If Embiid's out, man, I don't know who to go for. Howard or Bradley, they mess with him too much. So don't know who to go for there. So yeah, the other big news is Lillard is questionable. He has a little bit of an injury. I wouldn't be surprised if Terry Stotts says, "Hey man, take the day off, and we'll get back at it." definitely don't. I definitely do see that happening. So if he's out, Simons gets a little bit of a bump. Hood's gonna start once again. Gary Trent could get a usage rate, but the big thing with Trent though is he really flourishes with Lillard, right? Lillard drives and then kicks it out to Gary Trent, and that's how he gets a lot of his points. If there's no Lillard, they're going to be on Gary Trent Jr. quite a bit because he's one of the better shooters on that team. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did shut him down. I could see this like 3 for 13 here against Philly because Philly's a pretty dang good defense. And with no Lillard to help, with the ball handling and move that ball around, well, it's going to hurt Trent because, like I said, he's a shooter, and if he doesn't have someone to help him, it's going to hurt him a little bit. So Trent's a little much at 6'3". I do like I said, I do like Simons. If Carmelo starts, I do like him. Has not started the last couple days. I think Hood got the start, but if Carmelo gets back in there, yeah, I'll put him in there. I do like Tobias Harris, even if Joel Embiid plays. I don't like him a ton if he plays. Still got him for about 35 if he does play. And Covington, more of a GPP play, facing his old team, but not that high of usage for me. Houston, Memphis, 224. Memphis by 1. So Memphis hasn't really let their starters go crazy with their minutes. The other thing, though, it has been a blowout for all 3 of their games that they've been back, so that's why their minutes have not been that great. I really don't mind taking a shot with John Morant. Houston is actually one of the best defenses in the league against point guards, but that's with John Wall. We saw what Theo did yesterday against them. Did pretty good over there. So I don't mind looking at John Morant at 74. I think I think he could be half decent. It's weird seeing Eric Gordon at the shooting point guard position, but he's worth a look. Melton, maybe. I'm a little worried about his minutes here. He had 22 minutes. If this game stays close, which I think it could stay close, I'm a little, like I said, worried about his minutes here. Morant, I think, is going to play about 31 to 32, hopefully, in this one if it stays close. So, Melton, give him a look, but I'm a little hesitant with him. So anyway, it looks like David Nwaba's out, John Wall's out, and Oladipo are all out. So they have nobody at the point guard, shooting guard position. Which makes me say, hey man, Sterling Brown, I think he has a good one here. Only played 22 minutes against OKC, had a 19% usage rate, but as I just mentioned, Oladipo is out as well, so I could easily see 24 to 25 minutes from this guy. Keep in mind, a little bit earlier in the year, he had a couple good games, as you see. Nothing too crazy. When he did get the start, he had 40 fantasy points here. But when he gets, mid-20s minutes, he's not that bad, and the dude's $3,900, so I could see him starting. I think that gives him a bump if he does start, but keep that in mind. I do like Sterling Brown. If Mason, I don't think he will, but if Mason Jones starts for some reason, give him a look as well. I'm not too high on Anderson. Tate is actually a pretty good defender, and he starts at small forward. They're actually one of the best teams against small forwards, so I don't have a ton of him. House could be worth a look in a GPP only. But like I said, there's just not a ton of value as of now. Christian Wood. So I want to point something out. I'm very, very concerned with Christian Wood. 27. Let's go look at his last 3 games. 27, 26, and 22 minutes. This New Orleans game was relatively close. OKC wasn't the closest, but this game here, it was close in the third quarter, and they just didn't play him a ton. So I get the 22. He didn't play at all in the fourth quarter, but I'm a little worried about the minutes here. Just a little bit. But if you're not worried about the minutes, you can put him back out there at 89 is a little much, but I mean, I could see it if you want. Tillman's going to start center again. Yeah, don't mind going back to Tillman. Clark's worth a look. Rather go Tillman, though. And Gorgie Dang, he still played 25 minutes against Indiana. Did not do good against them, but still played 25 minutes. I don't mind going back to the well on Gorgie Dang. All right, moving on to our last one, Denver and the Lakers. We have a 219 and the Lakers by 5. So on paper, both these defenses are pretty dang good. Gary and Dozier are going to be out, so on paper, Will and Michael Porter both get a minutes boost. Like I said, this is just fancy cruncher, but they have Will at 29. I think that's a little high against the Lakers. He's literally had, one game above 29 in a long time. So, I mean, he's going to get some minute boost, but I don't know, man. We'll have to see. I'm not too high on him. I don't mind LeBron or AD. I won't have a ton of them, but like I said, there's not a ton of good uh, stars out there today, so maybe put them in a couple. So my not like dark horse, but I think a play that goes really overlooked here as we go look at Denver. Denver struggles against point guards, so maybe you could look at Dennis Schroeder. But like I said, with the two big boys out there, his usage rate doesn't really do much. So at 53, I'm not really too high into him. So anyway, let's get back to it. Let's go look at the Lakers here, their defense. So my kind of dark horse is Nikola Jokic. And the reason why I say that is because the Lakers actually struggle quite a bit against the centers. They give up a 56.8% field goal percentage, a ton of rebounds at 15-4, quite a bit of blocks, and quite a bit of turnovers to them. So Jokic is really not in that bad of a spot here, to be honest with you. And they give up 22.5 points, which is kind of like league average right there. So, um, yeah, I honestly don't mind Jokic here. I get it's against the Lakers, but Jokic has been an absolute dynamite here recently. So don't mind looking at him at 11K. I hope that he is low owned because I don't mind taking a shot with him. All right, so like I said, there is a lot of what ifs and ands here tonight. Like I said, with Lillard, I think Embiid plays, but maybe with Embiid, and a couple other guys I forgot. But oh yeah, and Porzingis. So like I said, a couple question marks for sure. So let's go put in a couple players. So if Embiid's out, I do like Simmons. I think, like I said, I think Morant could have a bounce back here. I really do. Mike Conley, 33-34. I think he's in a half decent spot at lower ownership. Eric Gordon should gain quite a bit of ownership here. Let's make sure Nawaba is probably not going to play to remain out Wednesday. Okay, so today's Thursday. So, like I said, make sure he's officially out. If he's in, I don't like Brown as much. Um, yeah, if you don't want to spin up for Morant, you want to go kind of more GPP, you can go Simons. Only if Lillard's out. Moving on to the shooting guards, Oladipo is going to be out, so I hate saying it, but maybe go to Mitchell. Another guy I did not mention is Dylan Brooks. I totally forgot to mention him. So he had 40 last game. He had 27 minutes here. If this game stays close, which I think it should, he's not in too bad of a spot. Let me go look at Houston again real quick. So if you go look at Houston against shooting guards, they're absolute trash. They give up only 27.1 real points against them. Like I said, this metric right here is out of 150, so they're literally one of the worst teams against it. They give up quite a bit of three-point shots, and I think I'm gonna go look. I think Brooks is a three-point shooter. No. There we go. He takes a couple shots, nothing too crazy, but he'll get maybe he hits two of them. So don't mind going that way here. That was a weird blurry screen. And then they give up a couple steals as well. So on paper, I don't mind Brooks. I think he goes low owned, to be honest with you. But I honestly could see a kind of a breakout game here for Dalen once again. So at 52, he's definitely worth a look in some GPPs. Besides that, moving down, like I said, if Nwaba's officially out, which I think he should, Brown's worth a look. I really do like him a lot more if he is starting. We probably won't get word on that, unfortunately. So for this one, I'm just going to go put in, what the heck is it? Dylan Brooks. I would definitely take Brooks over Clarkson as well. Small forward, I don't mind Tobias. Like I said, Bojan, a little worried about his usage rate right now. Small forward is really not that great, as you can see. So I mean I don't mind maybe going up to LeBron. If you don't want to go there, I mean you can look at Bojan. Maybe House. Like I said, maybe Juan Anderson if he starts. If he starts, yeah, I'll probably put him in there. Power forwards, like I said, if he plays, I do like Porzingis. If he's out, obviously that changes it up quite a bit. So keep that in mind. Um, I kind of like. Oh man, I don't know who to go here: Tillman or Royce O'Neal. kind of hard. I feel like O'Neal has a little more upside. He plays a couple more minutes for sure. Um, they're kind of the same though. I guess I go that way. Tillman's only playing 22 to 23 minutes, so that's the way I would probably go there. And then what do we got? We got 8-3. Go put in Yoke, and then that gives you 56 for like a. I mean, maybe Michael Porter. I'm not. I'd rather have Porter over Will Barton for sure. But like I said, his minutes are a little iffy to me. Like I said, he should play some more minutes here with Gary being out. So definitely keep that in mind. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Like I said, make sure that Lillard's out and stuff like that. Um, yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at for sure. Is Wall officially out? Let me make sure. We'll sit out Wednesday versus Rockets. Um, Should be back. Okay, so never mind. Oh, my bad, guys. I guess I missed that news. I thought he was out for a while. So I guess that changed it up a little bit with Brown. I'm still gonna play Gordon. I still think they need him. Wall out there. I don't have him, but you could definitely look at him. That will hurt Ja Moran a little bit, so keep that in mind. But besides that, from the Houston side, I think everything kind of stays the same. It just hurts Brown. But you could definitely go to Dylan Brooks. So definitely keep an eye on John Wall. My bad, I did miss that. So all right, guys, that is mostly it. As normal, if you guys want to get in, we'd love to have you guys come join us. All you need to do is hit, my goodness, go to the comment section, hit that link, and give us a follow while you guys are there, and message us, and we will get you guys all in. So leave a like once again, and also hit that sub button as well. So a little bit longer video. I wanted to, really go into it for you guys and show you, different ways and some DVP. So, all right, guys, that is it. Enjoy today. We'll see you guys a little bit later on.